of Dharma, of the lesser, greater, and common vehicles, in accordance with the thoughts and various intellects of beings. The Khenpos and spiritual friends, the members of the Sangha from the various monasteries, and the members of the public from all around the world. I would like to offer all of you my greetings on the new Tibetan year of the Earth Dog. I hope that in the new year you are all healthy and that all you do may go well. Originally, my plan was to come to this 35th Kagyu Monlam, and I made quite a few efforts to do so. But in the end, I was not able to come this year. But in terms of making the schedule, working on the preparations, I have, as in the past, shared my thoughts, held meetings, and so forth. I've done my best to do all of these. And now that we're actually holding the Kagyu Monlam, I am watching on the live webcast to see how things are actually going. And I have been in direct contact throughout. I had been slightly worried about how the Kagyu Monlam might go, but as I watched, Gyaltsen Rinpoche and Mingyur Rinpoche gave teachings that were really profound and vast. And I think these definitely were very helpful for many people, and that they must have learned quite a bit. For me as well, I felt that the teachings were very helpful for me, and I learned a lot. For this reason, I would like to first of all say thank you from the bottom of my heart to both of the Rinpoches. Now, during the actual Monlam, for the last couple of years, I have been teaching from the long Soliloquy by Geshe Potowa. Since it was me who began that teaching, so in the end it'll be me that I have to continue and finish it. Of course, this year I am quite far away in America, but because of modern technology I can be in a direct connection with all of you. So today, for the first 4 days of the Monlam, I have the fortune to be able to continue the teachings on Geshe Potowa's long soliloquy. Generally, for my own part, I don't have any of the qualities of being learned, venerable, or good. And this isn't just being humble, this is the way it actually is. But maybe we could say, from a perspective, since I've been gained the blessings of the title Karmapa, perhaps it is just my good fortune. Or maybe from one perspective, it is a misfortune for someone so significant as me to have to sit on the very high throne of the Karmapas. In any case, since I have this title, and because of this, though I do not have that high an education or that many illiterates, because of the power, the compassion of the blessings of the Karmapas, I feel as if I'm able to plant the seed of liberation in others. And for this reason, my feeling is that I'm asking the Karmapas and the Kagyu forefathers for their blessings, and that now I will teach you this Dharma. And for you as well. Generally, whatever Dharma it is you're listening to, and particularly with the teachings of the Kadampa masters, these are instructions that really get right to the heart of the matter. They go right where they need to. It's like in Tibetan medicine. There's a medical treatment that you put right where that needs to go. So wherever there's a fault, so these instructions, wherever the faults we have, they point it out and identify our faults to us. So these are really incredible instructions. And so when listening to them, please listen without being distracted in your body, speech, or mind. So I will continue from where we left off last year. And this is where we left off. It is certain that actions and intentions always go together. A sign that their intentions are for this life is that their actions are to work on ambitions for this life. Those whose intention is a wish for emancipation will do whatever they can to liberate themselves from samsara, and bodhisattvas do whatever to benefit others. That is what they put into practice. We should act as it is taught in the Dharma and teach it as we have practiced it ourselves. If we teach others without practicing it properly ourselves, we are like a leper practicing the Garudasanadana, and no one will come to listen. And so what this is saying, to really give the main point, is these days, if our intentions or motivations are like samsaric motivations or worldly motivations, then our actions also, because of that intention or motivation, will be only to do things for the sake of this life or for the sake of the 8 worldly concerns. If the intention is to reach some nirvana, or you could say to reach liberation and omniscience, if that is what we are seeking, and we have that sort of motivation, then our actions as well will match that. We'll think, what can I do to free myself from samsara? What can I do to myself from the partial nirvana of peace? In brief, a practitioner should be someone who acts in practice what is taught in the Dharma. If we act and practice the same as the Dharma we teach, then we will be able to teach that Dharma we are practicing as we have experienced it ourselves. Otherwise, if we don't attack, if our actions don't match the Dharma we teach, and we say to many people that the Dharma says this and the Dharma says that, that won't benefit the other person. Perhaps we'll start to have mistaken motivation or mistaken study. Mistaken meditation, mistaken study means that it'll be as if they're meditating, as if they're studying. You might teach them several long texts, but you could teach them several long steps. You teach them, you explain them. But even though you teach them, perhaps there's some tiny benefit that it could have to their minds. A little bit of a change. Maybe they can develop some slightly different feeling. But the student to whom you're teaching Dharma It won't work out that the student you teach the Dharma will feel disgust for this life, and that the antidote will become an antidote. The Dharma will become an antidote for the afflictions. In addition to that not happening, the student will gradually change. They'll start to look for the Lama's faults. They'll say to everyone they know, and everyone they meet, and all the acquaintances, I studied all this Dharma, it hasn't really helped. The Lama I've been studying with isn't very good. They'll tell this to everyone they see, everyone they meet, all their acquaintances, and so eventually it'll come down to this. The reason why this happens, the primary reason, is the Lama's fault. It's the fault of the Lama who is teaching the Dharma. The reason is, it's like in one of the sayings of Drupa Kundak. He said that Lamas are always teaching loving kindness and compassion, but it's certain they don't have any themselves. There's a quote about that, but I don't remember it word for word. Anyway, in that manner, the Lama is teaching the Dharma with their mouths, but within their mind stream, they lack any Dharma practice. In addition to lacking it, what they teach and what they practice are opposites. They don't match. What they teach and what they practice are contrary to each other. And since they don't match, so how can the student believe them? How can the student gain certainty? The example given here is of a leper practicing a Garuda sadhana. Leprosy in Tibet in the old days used to be a terrible disease. And once you caught leprosy, you were put off to the side, someplace where you wouldn't meet anywhere else, all alone, because it's a contagious illness, right? So the lepers were quarantined. And so leprosy is said to be caused by Nagas. It's a Naga illness. And the antidote for Nagas is the Garuda practice. We have the empowerment for Hayagriva, Vajrapan, and Garudas, right? In that, there is a Garudan sadhana. But if someone's a leper and have leprosy, and then teach the Garuda sadhana to someone else, would they believe it? No one will believe it. What do people say? If you know the Garuda Sonata so well, then you better cure yourself of leprosy first. Only once you've done that, then I'll study the Garuda Sonata from you. I won't believe you before then. In this condition, I won't. If you teach the Garuda Sadhana, I don't like that. It doesn't. That doesn't agree. I don't agree with that. For this reason, if the Guru does not practice the Dharma exactly as they teach it, it is difficult for the student to believe them. Now, to continue with the text. Geshes give their attention to those who have good birth, who are rich, assertive, ambitious, able to get things done, good at whatever they do, and highly regarded by their friends and relatives. But as they say that those who seek Dharma from a fear of death are greedy and unreliable. He's ineffective, shallow, and unreliable, they say. So here to talk about what this means. Actually, here there's a little bit of a typo in the Tibetan. And it's not all that clear. In any case, these days there are people with good collection.
다지 포츠 채와 다 든제기 류마 캐바 든제 다지 가라라오다 지 든제 베징 뭐단 고데버로 유에 된게 안 준탄 첨부로 유에 된게 다 디솔레야 드네베 라마 주마당 라마 다지 오늘은 신이 된바라 마인게 개외신이 신이 야보여
Complexions.
지금
People
너
who have good
누구시다니
faces. Their complexions are pretty good. They don't have bad complexions. And they're very rich.
아주 포츠
And they're assertive. They're really assertive. They're very assertive.
다 든제기 좀 류마케야 든제 다지
And so they're very good at whatever they do. So how should we say? So people who are very glib and easy to understand. These are the ones who, fake lamas, or lamas who don't really have all the qualifications, or geshes who they aren't really authentic geshes. These, they'll consider these people most highly, saying, "Oh, these are good people." So the lamas will consider them to the better type of people. Is death, someone who remembers Dharma from their heart. If there's a student like this, then the lamas, these lamas, as I've mentioned before, the unqualified lamas, will treat them as if they have, it's like they have no brains. Some people there aren't really all there. People who are like being useless and ineffective. And their friends and relatives will say, those people, sort of consider them like they're crazy people. Now to continue from the text. He is ineffective, shallow, and unreliable, they say. In addition to not helping them, their relatives, families, geshes, khenpos, masters, gurus, and companions will despise them and try to get rid of them. Assertiveness, wealth, ambitiousness, and being well connected are antithetical to achieving enlightenment. Those who practice Dharma and are humble see profit, fame, possessions, and sensory pleasures as enemy and faults. Geshes who consider them, those who have given up on this life, to be incapable and will not help them, while paying attention to the wealthy, outspoken, and connected, are not true spiritual friends. So what this says is this. So that type of people who really have faith in the Dharma and the three jewels, who have developed a fear of death, so these fake gurus and the fake geshes will say of such people is that they're just faking it, they're just pretending. They're just pretending that they've developed a faith of death. They're pretending that they've developed faith in the Dharma. And you really shouldn't have much to do with them, they say. And their friends and relatives, in addition to not helping them, will not help them or support them. They'll also despise them, deprecate them, and do whatever they can to get rid of them. They consider those who are the opposite, like as I said before, the people who are wealthy, kind of wealthy, who are accomplished, able to get things done, who are very influential, who are able to organize big events and so forth. They'll consider these people to be good, but actually, in reality, and being able to get things done, being assertive and being wealthy is actually antithetical to achieving enlightenment. For someone who really seeks enlightenment, those aren't important at all. What they say is that what they say is being able to get things done this life means being able to get things done in this lifetime. Being wealthy means having wealth and possessions in this lifetime. All of this is linked to this life. It's people who are only think about their desires for this life, just no matter what, whether they live or die. So it is among such people that they are considered to get they are able to be able to get things done, and they're considered wealthy. For someone who's given up on this life, there's no getting things done for the sake of this life. That is antithetical to achieving enlightenment. So, in brief, in these days, if you are someone who really thinks from their heart that you want to practice the Dharma, if you're someone who really wants to practice Dharma from their heart, views the popularity in this life, the wealth in this life, the prosperity in this life, they see it as an enemy. You see these as faults. So, but lamas don't accept those as students, those who have put this life out of their mind. They consider them to be useful. But then they accept as students those who have wealth and resources, those who have some influence. They give them Dharma teachings and instructions. Those lamas who do that are not authentic lamas. They are not true lamas. Now, in the text, as it says, an authentic spiritual friend, as described, teaches beings the Dharma without material offerings. Thus, they should pay attention to those who practice Dharma properly. A good monk is someone who is fearful of death, diligent, uninterested in this life, and intelligent, and who trusts the Dharma fully. This is because we are fleeing samsara and accomplishing perfect Buddhahood. We have faith in the Buddha and seek the Dharma. Those who are assertive, competent, and ambitious are going further and further away from Buddhahood. Thus, becoming skillful from today onward in the methods of progressing to Buddhahood itself is what we should call ambition. That is what we should call assertiveness. That is what we should call being good at what you do. In terms of a practitioner, that is also being learned, that is being venerable. That is what is called being a good master. That alone is the method for achieving Buddhahood swiftly. That is the Abhidharma. That is the sutras. That is the Vinaya. That is listening, contemplating, and meditating. That is also bringing together all the arduous austerities and all your capabilities to accomplish Buddhahood. All the scriptures, sutras, and classes of Tantra, from the verses on the Vinaya up to Kuhisamaja, are Dharma for a single individual. They are taught with specific times and stages in mind. There are none that were said to be unnecessary. And so if we have an authentic spiritual friend or authentic guru, then when the Buddha was describing the characteristics of the guru, he said, they teach the beings the Dharma without material offerings. So whether or not someone can make offerings, if they are an authentic student, the guru should accept them, teach them, and give them instructions. If they are someone who can practice the Dharma properly, then an authentic guru should accept them with compassion and take care of them. Likewise, if you think you should practice authenticness, some really pure Dharma, what you should really do is, first of all, is you need to identify your own faults, and then you need to fix them as if you were curing an illness. The reason is that first you identify your faults. Like with a sick person, you first examine them. You see what problems they have. You you check them and see the problems. And when you know what the fault comes are and what they come from, then you do something to eliminate them. So if we want to really practice true, pure Dharma, then we need to first identify our own faults. Once we've identified our own faults, then, here it says a good monk, but it means a good practitioner. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to be a monk. What we mean by a good practitioner, in his understanding, is it is someone who fears death and is therefore extremely diligent so as not to waste this life, so as to make this life meaningful. Someone who's extremely diligent. That is what you should be like. You must not be interested in this life. It means someone who has faith in the three jewels. So uncontrived faith, you could say, or faith from the bottom of their heart. That's what's necessary. If you have no faith in the jewels, you won't practice Dharma, right? So for that reason, you should be someone with faith in the jewels from the bottom of your heart. So such people are very close to achieving liberation and omniscience. They're not far. They're very close. The type of people we discussed before, those who are competent, influential, and so forth, are very far from achieving the state of Buddhahood or of Bodhisattvahood. In fact, they really don't need Buddhahood or Bodhisattvahood in the depths of their mind. For the time being rich is exactly what they want, exactly what they need. They don't have much interest in Buddhahood or enlightenment. They have little desire or enthusiasm for it. And so for this reason, such people are extremely far away from accomplishing Buddhahood and enlightenment. When we talk about someone who's assertiveness, and so the Tibetan word for assertiveness means someone who can really argue well for themselves. In the old days, when you had a lawsuit, it wasn't like nowadays when you looked for a lawyer. You looked for someone who was very well spoken, very persuasive. Someone who could argue well. How should I say it? Who would be able to explain anything. That's the type of person you'd look for. Someone who could really argue. Was very good at making arguments and speaking directly. And so they were someone who's able to refute others and so forth. So that is what we meant by someone who is assertive. You could say assertive or competent in any case. That's what we mean. But Potowa said that this isn't assertiveness. That isn't assertiveness at all, not in terms of the Dharma. What he thinks is that the way Potowa understands it, assertiveness and capable, the way we should understand this, what he thinks is that someone who realizes that there is no happiness in samsara, who does not consider what other people think to be important. That person is able to truly accomplish Dharma that is best, or if not, if at least they're able to put this life out of mind, that is what is meant by being assertive. So what worldly people think of as assertive, being able to argue the case and such, that is not assertiveness. So that is what he is saying. And we will leave it here for today. So usually, when I do these teachings, after the teaching, we do meditation for 5 minutes. But this year, during the pre-Monlam teachings, both Gyaltsen Rinpoche and Mingyur Rinpoche gave many meditation instructions. So for the time being, I don't see any need for me to give meditation educations and so forth. So next we will recite the aspiration for the stages of the path.